about the Namesake Chapter 1.
Okay. I'm going to make questions. When and where this story develops?
This story develops in Cambridge, Massachusetts. It starts in 1968 when Ashima and Ashok are in a square apartment in Cambridge.
Okay. What is it about and how does it start?
Well, it first started when Ashima is cooking her favorite snack of India, and she starts to remember everything that happened when she was back there in her country. And she was pregnant, and then when she was while she was cooking, she felt a little bump in her belly, and then she called her husband, and because she was pregnant and she thought that it was time, and Ashok took her to the hospital.
How did Ashima feel once she got to the hospital?
Well, first she had a lot of contractions, and she started to feel a little bit sad because although she was adopted to this country, she was almost alone because her husband needed to work, and she thought that raising a kid where the religion is not the same and there are different habits, it would be difficult for her to raise it alone.
Why Ashima started to remember those days in India when she was talking with the nurse?
She started to remember the days in India because she started to speak in English idiom to the nurse, and then she remembers those days in India because she started to speak in English idiom to the nurse, and then she remembered when she was 19 years old, and she worked as tutor in her country, and her mother used to invite many guys and kids to the house, and she would tutor these kids, and that's why she remembered when she talked to the nurse.
And finally, what's the scene that she remembered the most?
The scene she remembers the most is when she was in her house. Back then she was doing tutoring to some kids, and then she was looking down the hallway and she saw those nice shoes there, and she couldn't resist and try them, and then she didn't know who those shoes were, and then she finally saw that those shoes are from the person that is nowadays is her husband, actually. Where does the second part of the chapter takes place?
The second part of the chapter takes place in the hospital. In the waiting room of the hospital is Asuka waiting for the birth of his son. But also this part of the chapter shows you a different aspect of the past life of the Asuka.
What aspects of Ashok's past does the chapter show?
The aspect that they show is the love that he has for Reed and the passion that he feels. In particular, they tell you about the history of the accident that he has in the train traveling from the Calcutta from Hashepur, where his grandfather lives. In this accident, he could pass away, but he didn't because he was awake reading a book about Goku.
How he feels and what he decided to do after the accident.
After the accident, he decided to start again studying again the certificate of college, and also he applied for studying aboard her career engineer.
Why do you think the author wants to show the past of Ashok in this final part of the
I
chapter?
think the intention of the author is show us the grateful that he think for the new life that he gets after the accident, and he think that he reborn once after the accident in 1960. 1961, and also he reborn in America when his son born, and he thinks it's a gift of life, but also he doesn't thankful to God, just to her family and Gogo, the author.
Thank you. Action.
Good evening. Our chapter was about when Gogo started school, and it was a time very difficult because when he was about to start kindergarten, and his parents told him that he was going to use another name at school. His good name, as they call it, Mitchell. And that name, he didn't like that name because he was used to use Google, and he asked his father to use that name at school and why he needed another name at school. And he was a little sad, and that way they went to school, and the first day they were in the office there with the principal, and the principal didn't understand the name because they suffered a shock when his parent asked the principal tell go with the really name, the good name, Nico. And the way they pronounce the name put a Gogo in the difficult situation, and he feels really sad. And then the parent tell Gogo don't something like that. Don't cry, Gogo. And in that moment, the principal asked the father, why you call him Gogo if you say another name? And he tried to explain, but the principal didn't understand. And after that, Gogo, the principal took Gogo along and asked Gogo if he wants to be called Gogo, and he chose Gogo.
So the last part of the chapter 3 talk about when Google goes up at age 10 and 11. So more of Ashima and Ashok's relatives start to die in India, and the Gangulis start to fit into American culture about more. So they receive a lot of letters from relatives who in India who start to pass away. And Ashima said, we don't receive good letters, like alluding to the first chapter, when they don't receive the real name of Google, but they receive the letter of relatives who pass away. So they start celebrating Christmas, but they keep trying to keep Bengalese tradition and customs. By the age of 10, Google has been 3 times to Calcutta. He was surprised to find in Calcutta a lot of Gangulis family. It's a very common last name here. And when he's on the 6th grade, at 11, Google goes on a field trip to visit the home of a very famous dead writer. So as part of the trip, the students are taken to the cemetery where the writer is buried and do rubbings of the gravestones. So that's that thing. And when he go back home, he said it to his mom, and his mother said, shocked that the children would be exposed to death by this way.
Chapter 4. We're going to start with Anna, then Adriana, and then Claudia.
Yes, in the first part of the chapter, the his 14th birthday.
We know Google has two celebrations. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, Google have two celebrations because the first one is with the American friends. This is an informal celebration. Google's father, when he goes from his work, pick up some pizzas, and in Google house, watch a baseball game on television, eat the pizzas, and listen some music. And the second one is a Bengali celebration with Bengali friends of the family, with some relatives, aunts, uncles with their children, and Gogol received, in the chapter, there is a comparison between the gifts received by his American friends and the gifts that he received from his father principally. The American friends gives the White Album from the Beatles, who Goggles is devout, and he enjoys a lot this music. And his father gives him a book of his favorite writer, who is Nikolai Gogol, a Russian writer. And the chapter describes how Gogol is not interested in this book. He put the book in the yes, and continue listen the Beatles music, American music, and also describe how he speak with his parents in English, in spite of his father. His parents speak with him in Bengali. And in the chapter describes how Gogol hates his name. He hates his name a lot and doesn't understand why his father put this name to him.
Okay, after that, the parents planning go to Calcutta for 8 months. Google first frustrated that because he said, why 8 months is too much? But the parents say, we have to go to Calcutta. They went, and Google and Sonia feels strange. They were sad in the airplane. When they arrived to Calcutta, they feel uncomfortable, but his father planned to go to another trip to know Taj Mahal. They went first to admired its perfect symmetry, and he admired too that after Taj Mahal was completed, each of the builder, 20,000 men, had his tombs cut off, so that the structure could never will be built again.
Okay, we're gonna stop. You have
In the next part of the chapter, said how Gogol feels very uncomfortable every time when he said his name. Everybody asked what's the meaning of the name and where it's coming from. So after the Christmas, when he started school, the high school in the junior year, his teacher in English reading, he decided to read the biography from Nikolai Gogol, and he was very nervous. The classmates started complaining was too long the story was, and he felt like very responsible why the teacher decided to read this book. And the teacher described Gogol like one of the famous Russian writers. Unfortunately, no one recognized his talent during his life. He was more famous after his death. He was a man, very solitary man. He never married, and he fell in a deep depression. He even started going to spa, sanatoriums to try to recuperate his health. And then he visited pilgrimage and in the Holy Land in Jerusalem. And when he came back, he decided to go to Russia, but he was already convinced that he failed as a writer. And he decided to burn all the manuscript of his last book, and he took the decision to suicide by starvation. So he stopped eating. And
my name is Jose Fonsalga, and visit my partner Bendijas and Maximo Garcia. We are going to talk about chapter 6.
Okay. The chapter 6 talk about Gogol. Gogol lived in New York in 1994, but he lived alone. He worked in communications, but he earned less money, but he lived with the money that the parents give, and checks and a little bit money that the parents give. He changed his name for Nikhil, but he know a Maxine in a party. She's a liberal girl. The next of the party, he went with Nikhil at her home and he know her parents, Gerald and Lydia, but he's surprised about her family because her family are very different. Gogol's family, because her family are more liberal. The most time the parents are in other place that the guys.
Soon after they met each other in that party, and after he met Maxine's parents, he take her to his apartment. She is shocked to see the way he's living in a small apartment with no picture, nothing, only the bed, a table, and a very noisy apartment. She told her to move with her. He's shocked because Maxine lived with her parents, and they moved. Maxine's parents lived on the second floor, and they lived on the first floor. He feels in confidence with Maxine's parents, and he feels like he's betraying his own family, because he's coming from a family when his family is very conservative, very religious, with a tradition, and suddenly he finds out living with a liberal family in which their parents, Maxine's parents, they are not afraid of showing her emotion, showing they like parties. They like to move during the summer to a summer house they have in a small place near to a lake.
3 minutes.
And after that is the time for Nico, Gogo, to introduce his parents to Maxine. Before that, he let her know that no touching, no kissing, no any show of affection is allowed in his parents' house. The lunch, because it's a lunch, it's a nice lunch in which a shop let her know Ashima and Gogo that he has to travel for another college is offering him a class, and he had to attend the class. He has Ashima to go with him, but Hashima said no. Then they go to the summer house, to the athlete summer house, and which I celebrate his 27 years old birthday. The first birthday he spent with another family that is not his home.
Was it?
That's it.
This chapter 9 is talking about Gogol and Mashumi marriage. They decide to marriage after 1 year knowing each other. They married in New Year's. The ceremony was in a hotel, DoubleTree. This hotel was close to the neighborhood where the parents living. Their parents prepare all the things, such as they prepare food, Indian food, beverage, cake, and everything. Of course, Gogol and Mashumi prefer another type of party because they want to invite their friends, American friends, and they want to another place, another food, etc. Now she continues.
At the end of the party, they went to the hotel, the room of the hotel, and they opened a champagne, and they sat on the bed, and they took a bag with cards, and inside of the cards had a check, and the checks, the amount of the checks was in odd numbers, because in Bengali the round number is like a bad luck. The all checks came in the name of Gogol and Mashumi Ganguly, but she never changed her last name. In March, they went to Paris, Paris. Mashumi had to travel to Paris for work, and they decided to go to Paris. It was the first time that Gogol go to Europe, and she was very happy because he could see all the architecture that he had studied in school, and he took a picture of all architecture, but at the same time he was a little sad because her wife
couldn't enjoy the travel.
Okay, the last part of the chapter talk about a Saturday evening in May when Gogol and Mashuri went to a party of the Mashuri friends. And the first time Gogol met Astrid and Donis, were the friend of the Mashuri. So we're in his wedding. So he feel like bad because they think they were with the
1 minute.
same with her boyfriend. So at the party, they just began to talk about names of the baby. So because the friends of the Mashuri have to wear a baby. Gogol hate this type of conversations at that time, so he feel like out of place, something like that. On the table, when everyone with the dinner service continue to talk about the name of the baby, and when they changed the conversation, so the name of the people, so Mashuri was drunk and say that Gogol changed his name for Nikli.
Right.
So he feel like, oh my God, he talks something like something like I talked to her and that was the first name.
Chapter 11, today's date is February 25, the time is 7:51. Today's day we're going to talk about our show, Jumpa Ilari. The Jumpa Ilari is the name of the namesake, the winner of published prizes. Here we introduce you to go. Coco is wake up in his bedroom and his room.
I am alone. Where's my wife?
He doesn't see his wife in the bedroom while he wakes up in the morning. As you say, he just going around in the room and he feels something. His wife told him he has a meeting work in West Palm Beach, but he forget his wife telling the story. He's doing a lot of stuff. Walking around, eat some food, eat some clothing, eat some breakfast and fix some...
This is a swimming suit. Where's my wife? Maybe she went to the pool, to the beach. She didn't say me nothing.
The funny thing, he went to the bathroom. He saw a bathing suit in the bathroom. The wife bathing suit. The wife he wasn't go to the pool, even in the beach. He may think his wife go out with somebody else. That's so terrible. And then he went to work. He explained his co-worker. He used exactly what he has to do every day as his job. He worked as a building company, as he drove a building show plane for the houses. And then he explained his wife. But the problem gave him a lot of things. And he take a lot of stuff. He couldn't even work. He couldn't even do anything because of his problem's wife.
Preparing my breakfast alone. Where's my wife? I need my wife.
That's what happened. And then you remember one day at the Thanksgiving, his wife meet his family member. And his family member also meet at the house to take the Thanksgiving party. The party wasn't good. It wasn't fixed good because the family wasn't there. And while Mushumi wasn't there, and then he came out for right now.
Hi, lovely. How are you? I'm so happy.
That's why he's so happy. Yes, in a question.
My conference in West Palm Beach was a complete exit. I'm so excited. Everything there was
But you didn't send me
Yeah,
nothing.
I
No,
told
you
you.
didn't. No, you
That's
didn't.
what happened.
I was alone.
What happened to you?
That's what happened when communication wasn't there. The wife went out and she doesn't even tell his husband if he went out. That's why the Gogo's problem. He feel worried for that situation. That's why the story happened in the Christmas. And then,
Okay?
this is the gift for Christmas as a
This
book.
is your Christmas gift. This is your book.
I get some ticket for travel to Italy.
That's why when love, when romance happy in life, everything's come lovely and funny thing. That's what our talking show, the chapter 11 from the book Hilary. I say thank you, see you next time.
We're not going to act, don't worry.
Ready? Good evening, class. Let me introduce my classmates. Ana, Juan Martin. My name is Luis Miguel. We're going to be talking about the Namesake, Chapter 12. This takes place on Shima's house. They're going to celebrate Christmas. It's the year 2000. Ashima is having mixed feelings about this party because it's going to be the first Christmas they're going to celebrate without a show. They already sold the house, and so this is going to be the last party before they move out. Ashima is having mixed feelings because the walkers, who are the people who bought the house, are talking about renovations, and she felt like the house should stay the way they had it before, but soon realized that she had to let go. After the party, after Christmas party, she plans to live 6 months in India with her sister, and 6 months in the U.S. with sharing those 6 months with her children. She's cooking dinner for her friends and her sons who are invited to the Christmas party. And then let Juan go with the second part.
Well, Gogol is going from New York to Boston to help his mother to pack her things because she was leaving to India. And when he got to the station, he was waiting for her sister Sonia and her husband Ben. And he remembered that he had a conversation with his ex-wife about when she admitted to him that she had an affair with Dimitri. And then in that time when he went back home, he saw that his ex-wife had everything packed and all the divorce stuff, everything done, because she was leaving to Paris. And well, that's it. Then they pick him up, and that's it.
When they pick him up, he come to his mom. Nobody was there because the party will begin at 7:30. So they went. They helped his mom to put all the stuff in the house, the food, on the tree. They were preparing the tree. He was like having memories about the first time they had a tree with his father, and the tree was like really, really small. So he was like really happy that now the big was really big, but also he was like sad because his mom will go to India. And then like it was 7:30 and the guests were arriving to his house, and his mother asked him to go upstairs to find the camera. So when he go upstairs, he went to his room and he like began to like have memories, and he found like a book that his dad gave to him. So like he never paid attention to that book, but now that his dad was dead, he saw that the book was about Nicole Gogol, the name that his dad, the writer, that his dad decided to put the same name to his son. So he began to read the book and to like being sad that he never paid attention, but now he was like really into it. And then he went back to the party and he was like taking photos, and that's it. That's how the book ended. Thank you.